in this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to make this logo animation. So you can change this to any logo you want. It's completely procedural. So let's get right into this. Hey, so if you want to support this channel, make sure to grab one of my project files. This will help me make more tutorials like this in the future. Okay, let's start with a new composition. 24 FPS, 12 seconds. Okay, let's drag our logo. Okay, so we have our logo. The reason why I picked an Illustrator file so we can scale it up. For example, if I scale this up, you see how it gets like pixelated. So if we click this button, it keeps the quality remaining the same. So let's scale it down now, and we have this. Okay, let's pre-comp this. Okay, and let's add a shutter effect. We get this, which we need to change it. So if we play it, we get this, which looks extremely bad. Let's add a camera here. Okay, keep the same settings. If we move the camera, we don't get any results. So this effect connected. So let's pick here comp camera. Now we can see the logo in 3D. Okay, good. Let's leave the settings for the extrusion depth to 0.2, and for the pattern, let's do glass, which looks the best here. And let's change some options here. For example, the force, this is too much. Let's do 0.2. And for the physics, let's remove the gravity to 0. Okay, now if we play it, we get this look. Okay, now what we need to do is stylize this logo. So what we need to do, let's completely crush these colors. So let's make it black completely. Let's add a layer style effect. First effect, let's add this. Okay, and let's change some few settings. For example, if I add here red, change the multiply to normal. So let's change some few options here and tweak it. So for example, do blue. I think this looks good. Okay, and let's change the distance. Let's do here 14 and size 25. I guess 25. Okay, we're good. Let's drop it for, this is too much, so let's make it more darker. So let's go to like this. Let's keep adding more effects to make it look more 3D, a lot more stylized. So let's add an inner glow. Okay, so get this look. Now let's pick the color from here. It just decrease it to 100. Perfect. And let's change the size here. For example, 75. Let's change the range here, make it much more wider. I guess 75 too. I think this looks good. And let's add one more effect, which is the bevel. Add some like detail to it more. Okay, so first setting the size, let's do 1, and the softness to 16. And if we can see clearly, the bevel adds some like effect, makes it look more 3D-ish, kinda, you know. So let's stack some layers so we can play with the effect more. Okay, so let's duplicate this 2 times. Let's do yellow. Okay, let's change some few settings. So for this one, let's change the shape extrusion from 0.2 to 1, and this one to 0.35. Okay, now let's add an adjustment layer, and if we play it, we get this look. This looks good with the, it looks a little bit more 3D, a bit more stylized, but I need to add more effects so it looks way much better. So let's add a fine edge effect. Okay, so let's dial in this fine edge effect with some curves. And let's change some values here, for example. As you can see, some colors like disappeared. Okay, this is a good value, and let's increase it here more. Okay, this is good. Let's play it. We get this effect, and you see this first layer. Let's change the color to blue. duplicate it, and let's change this one to red. Okay, let's make the extrusion to 1. And let's remove some layers here. For example, this one we don't need it. This one we don't need it. And let's decrease the value a little bit. So opacity, let's do 65. If we put it, we get this effect, which is cool. Now the logo looks more 3D-ish, looks more stylized. Let's add a solid layer, and let's add a fractal noise. Transform, let's do 200. Complexity to 2. And let's play with the contrast and brightness a little bit. So if we like tick this box, this mask everything on the bottom, so change the color blending mode to color dodge, we get this. Now this is too much, so let's decrease opacity to like 25 or 30, and let's play with the animation a little bit. For example, evolution, let's add 200. Now the logo looks way more alive. Let's add now a camera animation. So let's add a null, center it like this, and make it 3D. Now let's attach this camera to the null. We can control the camera with the null only. This animation is basically in reverse. It starts from the logo and it shatters. So we want it to go from this to this. Let's add the rotation Y, and let's do 4 seconds. Okay, 0, 0. Add a scaling animation. So with the scaling, we want to zoom in a little bit. 25. Now let's play with the graph editor. Let's push this like this, and basically push these two a little bit like this. Just play with the graph to get a certain look. And now if we play it, we get this look. And we don't want it to just start from 0 and shatter. We need to give it a little bit more time. So let's give it almost 1 second. Now, we don't want animation on the first part here. Get all these and change the force to 0. So no animation will start. So what we need to do here is change the radius to 0. Also, let's move these layers like this. Okay, now if we play the animation, we get this. So I like this look, but I think we can improve it a little bit more. Go to the logo composition here, and let's add a fractal noise effect. Let's change some few settings. Contrast like this. Evolution, let's animate the evolution to 100. Okay, so we got this effect. So if we do like this and change this to, we get this gradient effect, which looks very good. If we check back our composition, the look gonna change. So let's compare it before and after. Okay, so don't forget to activate this for all the layers on the bottom. If we, for example, do like this, you see? Before, after. It adds way more like detail to the logo, makes it more unique. I think I'm happy with this one. Let's pre-comp everything. Let's stack this layer 3 times and start with the top one, and let's add a find edge effect like this, and let's add a tint to decrease it a little bit. Okay, I think this is fine. Let's turn this off, and let's go in here and add CC Radial Fast Blur, darkest. I think this works well. This is a cool effect, and we have these 2 layers. Okay, now if I add this to color dodge, we get this effect, which looks extremely good. So I don't like the blacks here, so what we can do is basically remove all the black. Okay, do 60 like this. Increase the softness a little bit, maybe decrease the tolerance maybe to 30, I guess. Let's add a background for this, so I'm gonna add a fractal noise. Let's do here 2000, this, 3. And let's add a tint effect to play with it a little bit more. Let's do 40 like this. We need to add some animation on the evolution. Let's do 100, really slow. So we get this. Let's play up more with this, okay? Maybe we do 60 here. Maybe this works. So in this 3rd layer, let's add an effect, radial blur. Let's increase it to 60 like this on zoom. Okay, so we have this effect. To dial this effect even more, let's play with the curves. So if we play with the curves here, we get this spiky effect. I think this is good. And make sure it's on lighting mode. Now if we play this, we get this effect. Don't like this, so let's increase a little bit of the edge feather to 60 maybe. Okay, now it's a whole lot better. Let's go to the logo. Let's add the curve effect, crush a little bit of the details here. Let's keep it like this. I think this is good. Let's add a glow effect. You can use any glow effect, by the way. I think we have some room to play, to be honest. 20. I think this looks better. Okay. Maybe the glow is too strong. We don't want the glow to be too strong, so something like this. I'm liking this so far. I think we can maybe add some details. Let's add a grungy effect. So I have this grungy texture. You can use any grunge texture from Google or something. If we do color dodge, we get this effect. Okay, so we don't want everything to be affected. We just want to get this middle part. So we need to mask it. Also, don't forget, always activate these. I forgot to activate them. Let's add a mosaic effect. Let's do 200, 200. So we get this look. Let's add another effect, which is Venetian blind. Let's do this. So it's like this, and I like this. Like it kind of gives it like a half tone effect, which looks very good. We can always add curves to push it a little bit more further. I think we don't need this effect, to be honest. Let's decrease it down a little bit, the curves. I think we got this look way much better. Okay, let's add a noise for all this comp. Let's make a solid, make it 50%. Add a grain. And final output. You can like pick any preset from this, and let's do overlay. Now with the noise, everything makes it much more detailed. So, okay, so now we need to flip, like reverse the animation so it makes sense more. Cut it here, example, and let's time reverse this. Okay, so we have this final effect. For more future tutorials, don't forget to check my Gumroad on the description. You can support me there, and I want to say that you can change whatever you want. For example, if we do that, we can basically check here. So as you can see, the logo works perfectly well. I will make more tutorials like this in the future, so let me know if you want to see some Cinema 4D tutorials, After Effects tutorials. Comment down below for anything you want to see in the future.